Okay, I'm with Jordan Chariton with the Young Turks, and one of the reasons I wanted to talk to you is I heard you talking about the Netroots Nation not really being a liberal or a progressive type of a conference, and I wanted to ask you a couple of questions about that. Are you an absolutist? Are you an idealist? Why would you not consider this progressive, maybe with a lesser degree of degradation?
No, I'm not an absolutist by no means. I think I have a different perspective than a lot of kind of liberal media or others, because I actually have been out in the country for the last year and a half,
right.
Probably like 80% of the time.
Right.
And I cover a lot of stories that are being ignored. The ongoing water crisis in Flint, the pipeline in North Dakota, Standing Rock, the lead crisis in East Chicago, all things the Democratic Party has largely ignored.
Right.
So I see, not only through those emergencies, but through the disappearing middle class, the policies that the Democratic Party and a lot of folks at conferences like this are pushing are not enough for the majority of the country. And I also saw on the campaign trail, people don't realize a lot of independents and Republicans like Bernie Sanders' message,
right.
which is a progressive economic message.
Right.
So to me, you're never going to agree on everything as a party, but on the major issues, to me, and a large portion of America, is economic inequality. I don't think the Democratic Party has learned a lesson from the election. Their proposals that they're pushing forward now do not go far enough. I think the phrase incrementalism or gradualism is really a mask for we'll give you crumbs because we got to please our donors. So that's how I view things.
No, I believe it or not, I think I agree with everything that you just said. Now, what I don't think I agree with is saying that particular statement about the Democratic Party or Netroots in this regard. I think there are many folks within the party, myself included, which I'm a devout activist as well as a journalist or a blogger. I think we are out there putting that exact message out there. What really happens is we don't have the coverage by the news media for people who are pushing that message. In other words, there's the Young Turks out there pushing that sort of message. There's Politics Done Right. There are several progressive stations out there trying to push it, but they do not get the coverage. What can we do to ensure that the ABC, CBS, NBC, CNNs, and others carry the message? Because my contention is there are enough within the party proper that have your message, but your message is simply not getting out there.
I'm going to tell you something that you're going to consider radical.
Okay.
I don't give a damn if CNN, ABC, the Washington Post
I don't think it's radical at all.
Carry our message. Because the bottom line is, these are all corporations.
Right.
They are run by multi-billion-dollar conglomerates.
Right.
Doesn't make them evil, but that's just a fact. So there is a certain line. And by the way, I used to work at Fox and MSNBC in the beginning of my career. So they are not going to focus on Standing Rock because it involves oil and big banks. Yes. They are not going to focus on Flint because it's not sexy to them and it doesn't give them ratings, and they need to get ratings for their corporate parents.
Right.
To me, and I think what the Young Turks tries to do, and I try to do as a reporter, is inform the public of the real news that's being ignored to activate the public.
Yes.
Because when I went to Standing Rock, I probably had between 100 and 200 people come up to me personally and say, your videos are why I came. When I was in Flint, there were 6 residents that were arrested for the crime of being too loud at a town hall. They were facing felony charges. I was the only reporter that stayed on it, and those charges were dropped. The reason, because our viewers rallied around those people. Our viewers called the mayor's office.
Right.
Our viewers called the police department and flooded them. So the real how you get change is not only from CNN and the New York Times mentioning you.
Right.
They'll do it for 4 minutes and then they'll go back to what Trump is tweeting.
Right.
It's getting your audience not only informed but activated, because the audience is filled, not just my audience, I'm sure yours too, with other activists who are then going to be like, I didn't know that this is still going on in Flint or here or here.
Right.
Police brutality, financial corruption. It is political activism is very closely aligned with independent journalism, because a lot of our viewers want to do something.
Right.
They just don't know what. They need to know first, what are the problems.
Well, Jordan, I can't disagree with anything there as well, and I think that's a good statement. Now, there's one thing that I think I would ask of all of us doing this type of media, because we are all doing a whole lot of social media. We're all trying to get through alternative media, given that the main stations are not going to cover these things. But at the same time, I hope that all of us leave the doors open for those people that are still, I don't want to sound condescending, but somewhat misguided, but give them some space for us to bring them in.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah. Hey, listen, I always say this. Like, I don't love Nancy Pelosi politically.
Right.
I don't know Nancy Pelosi. I don't have a personal thing. I wish her well.
Right.
When Hillary Clinton, fell during the campaign,
right.
there was a lot of my viewers who wanted me to engage in kooky conspiracy theories and all this. I said, I'm not a doctor. I don't know what happened to her, but I don't like her policies, but I wish her well. I don't wish evil on anybody, because even if I think their policies are misguided, I would hope the majority of these politicians, they entered politics for the right reasons, you would hope. And at their root, they think they want to create change. I just think they're misguided on how they're going to create change or how bad the situation is. But no, I mean, the bottom line is, it's a lot of people, it takes longer for them to wake up. I think what the Young Turks is doing, I think what the progressive movement is doing is saying, no. The country is in a crisis. It's a 30 to 40-year crisis, and we cannot live under incrementalism anymore. We cannot live under gradualism. FDR was not an incrementalist. He saw the
crisis. Later in
crisis.
life, he wasn't. Yes.
Right. He saw the crisis at hand, and he instituted some serious changes in terms of policy. I believe if John F. Kennedy would have lived, you might have seen similar things to that. So I think the bottom line is, if Nancy Pelosi wants to come out tomorrow and say, you know what, I'm for Medicare for all, I will do jumping jacks for Nancy Pelosi. I don't agree on anything for her, but this is about policy and nothing else.
Jordan Chariton, Young Turks.
Young Turks.
You're a good man. Thank you very much.
You too, sir. Thanks for having me.
All right.